I'm gonna be sick, baby. I'm pumped. pumped.
Oh, pump it up.
Damn. Hey, couldn't catch that reference, probably not. Nobody stopped at 50. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Yeah, baby.
Your energy was a lot better the last 9 games. What happened?
I don't want to talk about it.
All right, well, that's old stuff. Why are we bringing up
Yeah,
old
I
stuff?
don't want to talk about any of that stuff. I guess you could do it for half an hour.
We are live in the Toyota Lounge room by Front Range Toyota Stores, Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Guys, Nuggets back in action. I'm so glad that yesterday was a Sunday. Like a day that didn't exist, really.
Man.
I didn't have to really have a hangover from that, whatever happened Saturday.
Man.
Nuggets taking on the Pacers. A great spot, in my opinion, for them to be. On the road for the first game. Still fresh legs, you know, we're not that far out of the All-Star break. And you have a team right now that I think is the perfect matchup for us to find out how they respond to a big piece of adversity. I got D-Line Co in the house.
That's right, guys. Yeah, you're right. Like, my entire foundation of life was shaken. I couldn't really figure out why. And then I realized that my life is controlled by the Denver Nuggets. And
Yeah.
it's something I endeavor to change, but I think I'm actually going to get more strongly involved.
It's funny because we get paid by our happiness. Our souls are paid by the Denver Nuggets. We pay bills all day, and then the reward is the Nuggets. And some days it's like yoke. Some days you get a check that's a little less.
Dude, it's the freaking worst. Yeah, like when your whole life's a nightmare. Like every waking hour is just worse than the last. And then you look to outsource your happiness to say the greatest athlete you've ever seen.
Yeah.
And then sometimes it doesn't matter because that greatest athlete you've ever seen still delivers a steaming pile of sadness.
Not often, but sometimes that happens. Superstar Deb's also on the show today.
I truly, truly, truly love these early games. They are incredible.
Dev's still
I'm thinking of a nap.
I know Dev's still gonna go to bed before this is over. Like,
No, not. I'm gonna try my hardest to battle this one out.
It is weird, man. It's 4:30.
Bro, I was
incredible.
like, oh, my meeting just got out. I'm gonna get some food before the
No, you
game.
weren't.
And then I was like, when is it? I'm like, we're on in 5 minutes. What am I doing?
I'm also very excited to get the bad taste out of our mouths. I think that's what we're all excited for that.
Dude, my entire mouth tastes like garbage.
We are all excited for that. I will tell you that Harrison Wind, late. How's Harrison?
Right there.
Oh,
There. I'm sorry. Harrison Wind is here. We'll give
he's
him
like,
the
hey guys, looking to deliver some pretty measured takes.
Well, it's
Can't
also,
wait to hear.
it's
from
also
Harrison.
difficult because Harrison Wind is responsible for our first segment.
Oh, that's
Game notes. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to go to D-Line Co. What's our game notes tonight?
Let's see. Wow. Whoo. So
I have our starting lineup. I have our starting 5.
Where are we?
Christian Brown.
They're playing the Pacers.
They're
Does
playing
that-
the Pacers.
Does that count as a?
Oh, here he comes. Oh, what do you know? Right on time. We're doing game notes, but nobody knows them.
Nuggets Pacers.
Nuggets,
Nuggets,
Pacers.
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 Oh, the man with literal wind in his hair as he sprinted over from an undisclosed
Hey, listen.
location. No, it's hard to be on
Hey,
time.
listen.
know.
No judgment here. Just vibes.
Oh, thank God.
But unfortunately, vibes low.
Judgment high.
What can you tell us about this game, though, Harrison?
Dude, traffic in Denver today was so bad.
Okay.
Everything in
I don't
Denver
know
was
if it
bad.
was
Traffic.
the nice weather or what, but
Yeah. People are emerging.
yeah. Woo. What's up, guys? So, injury-wise, Nuggets are good to go.
Okay.
A couple guys listed as probable. I know that. Jamal Murray is probable and AG probable, but they're good to go.
Okay.
And I believe all the Pacers regulars, for the most part, are good to go. They had a couple guys listed as questionable, but I don't think any starters.
So here's the thing about the Pacers. They've won 3 in a row, and their last 2 games have almost been the exact same score. They beat Memphis at home, 127-113. They beat the Clippers at home, 129-111. So they're on a little 4-game homestand post-All-Star break. That's a great spot to be in when you just have a bunch of games in a row at home.
Yeah.
And to me, 128-112 average. 2 games in a row with almost the exact same score. I feel like they're a team that has a nice rhythm going.
Yeah, and they played last night, and they won last night, and they beat the Clippers 129-111. Halliburton had 29 and 12. So he's obviously the head of the snake, what you got to watch out for. And then, like, Miles Turner playing well, Siakam. So they got a lot of dangerous dudes. And, I mean, it's not going to be a gimme by any means on the road.
No.
A gimme. I think they're going to be underdogs.
They being the Nuggets, yeah.
Yeah, they being the Nuggets. This is a tough game right here.
The Nuggets are not underdogs.
They're favorites tonight?
Absolute favorites in this one.
Really?
Dang.
By how much?
Like 5 or something like that. Like
5-point favorites?
on
Yeah.
the road too.
Again,
sounds
not
like
a gimme, but
Yeah.
a tough game.
Sounds like we got to
They're
remind
not-
Adam this season.
Yeah, this is. Also, Peyton Watson is still out right now, right?
Yeah, Peyton Watson is
And
out.
I believe that TJ McConnell is out for them, and that
He
might
is
be
out.
it right now.
All right. TJ McConnell, Nugget killer, so that's actually good
He
news.
wants about a week away from the reevaluation, I think.
Okay, that'll be nice. They
How
could,
do we not get linked to TJ McConnell every year like we did Kevin Love?
you think that's what we should be linked to him?
No, I don't think it should happen, but that just feels like a guy that everyone would
Why is
link
that?
to Denver.
Why do you think?
Just
Why do you
sort
think
of
he'd be like that?
The complexion of his game.
Oh, really? Yeah, he has a good complexion.
Sort of
You think everybody in Denver clamoring for TJ McConnell?
One note, I don't know if you care about this at all.
Oh, it's his game notes.
I'm not sure if this qualifies as a game note. I'm really not sure. The NFL Combine is going on this week.
yes.
In Indiana.
In Indianapolis.
Yeah.
I saw a picture from Katie Wingy of Michael Mullen and Sean Payton chopping it up at the Nuggets game.
Both fans of Joker.
Right. I don't know if you guys are into the NFL headlines. Sean Payton looking for his quote-unquote Joker in the draft, maybe.
Yeah.
That's a football position. Very different from the basketball Joker. That means best player in the world.
Yeah.
But
I think he probably is looking for his best player in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, what's the key tonight, Dev? Like, who is your eye on for the Nuggets?
Well, against the Pacers, it's trying to slow them down. Like, the defense is going to have to show up, especially against a team that wants to get out and run and try to go at you. So this one is probably going to be a Jamal Murray, Russell Westbrook type of game for me, because it is Tyrese Halliburton is who the ball is always in his hands. They want to push the pace with him. They don't have a backup point guard, so it's going to be Nimhart or something after that. So I think it's Jamal and Russell Westbrook.
So it is interesting because they're number 1, Denver Nuggets in fast break points, versus number 5, Indiana Pacers in fast break points. Both teams want to get out on the break. The difference is the Pacers are number 5 in opponent fast break points. The Nuggets all the way down at 27th. So this is Pacers are good at preventing the break. Nuggets are not. Both teams want to get out on the break.
And that goes back to turnovers, too.
Yeah.
Like, a big reason that the Nuggets lost that Lakers game was because of the turnovers.
Yeah,
the Lakers defense played a big part in that, too. But taking care of the ball naturally minimizes your opponent's fast break points because you're going to score, or at least you're going to have a regular shot, and that means that fast break gets cut down.
Also, points in the paint. Denver number 1, Indiana Pacers number 6. Both teams suck at guarding the paint. So I have a feeling that the bets tonight might feature a lot of high numbers. That would be my guess.
A lot of overs.
A lot of
think so,
overs in
too.
here tonight, or just the line is so high. I think it's a good match. I'm surprised the Nuggets are favored, to be honest with you. The Pacers have been playing well. Their only losses recently have been to good teams. I guess they did lose to Portland before the break,
Losers.
but they lost to
Who would ever do that?
they lost to the Knicks. They lost to the Lakers. Turned out Lakers are good. We can't talk shit anymore. And they lost to Cleveland. Prior to that, they didn't lose. Those are the only 5 losses they have in 2025.
Yeah, man. Like they're
on
a
a
team.
roll.
They're a team like that you usually kind of think of as in years past as like having some sort of like spiritual tie to the Denver Nuggets. Like they've always been good.
Is it
Like,
because of their colors?
No, it's because the
TJ
witchcraft
McConnell.
from the ABA finals.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is. But it just I always think about them as like a good team in the East. They're like sort of not quite getting over the hump. So that's the end of the spiritual connection. But like, I think of going to Indiana as like a difficult proposition. Like this is a game I'm actually pretty nervous about.
Yeah.
I mean, are we nervous about it more because of that or more because of the game the Nuggets are coming off?
Well,
Well,
that
it brings us to Hangover Takes, which I think
Okay.
is a fair question, which
think
is
it's
that
both.
all of our confidence is a little rattled, and rightfully so. If your confidence is not rattled, you might have your head in the sand right now. Nuggets did get a beating. I'll start with this first one here. I'll ask you this, D-Line.
Yep.
Do you expect the Pacers, because they don't play that style of just pack the paint, overload on it, but do you expect, I'm very curious if you think they are going to try to adjust and be like, okay, let's do what the Lakers did.
I would be surprised if they did, because
They played last night.
The Lakers have like literal, like they not only have planned on that type of attack, they actually have personnel that sort of dictates that they have to do. Like,
Yeah.
the Lakers have a bunch of guys that are like all 6'8", and they don't have like one big guy that is the centerpiece of their defense, but they've got a bunch of guys that sort of fill in and can bracket Jokic. For me, like, I don't know what the Pacers will do. I don't care what the Pacers do. I just want the Nuggets to show up tonight and have that intensity ratchet up that we were expecting to see them bring against the Lakers that they did not. Like, you hope that a game like that serves as
Wake-up call.
okay, wow, we are mortal.
Yeah.
You know, we did win those 9 games. Obviously, the competition level was critiqued the entire time, but we were still taking care of business. We were turning in what we here on the panel declared as professional wins, and that was a deeply unprofessional effort given by the Denver Nuggets after that, where the Lakers gave everything that they had, you know, admirably so, and that's what you should do. You kind of hope that the Nuggets are going to do that themselves any given night, and I hope they just come out and just take it to the Pacers. Like, they take it to them in the way that it's like, okay, we're in the stretch run. Like, we're not messing around at all ever again any other nights. I have my doubts as to whether or not that'll happen, but that's what I want to see.
Well, one of the things, Dev, that makes the Lakers made their plan effective is they're physical. The Pacers are not. And they played last night.
Yeah, I don't think that they'll employ the same type of, I wouldn't say fear, but like physicality that like is going to force the Nuggets' hand in the same ways that a Laker would. Also, it's on different sides. Like, this is not like a Pacers measuring stick type of game to see how they would play in a playoff series. I do think that they're going to say, hey, let's prepare against them how we would a good team. But also, second night of a back-to-back, a Denver team that is not like any of those teams in the East. I don't think we see the same type of matchups. But I do think that they are going to try to get out and run and push the pace, because that is a way to beat Denver, and that's the way that the Pacers want to play. So not physicality, but the speed and just trying to score as many points as you could. You could do that against Denver.
Here's my big hangover take, Harrison. You know, as I really chew on this game.
I've chewed a lot on it too.
I think one thing the Nuggets are going to have to look in the mirror and realize, and this is going to sound insane, they are too reliant on Jokic. And what I mean by that, not is you should be reliant on Jokic as much as possible. We always talk about Pickett goes out there, get the ball to Jokic. That's your job. They should be reliant on him. What the Lakers did in that game was to overload him before the catch. They were going to front him. They're going to sandwich him. They were going to bring guys over. They had always had so many guys so that they could not play through him. If a team does that, you're compromised for everything else. The problem is Denver doesn't have an everything else.
Yeah.
They don't have an anything else.
Yep.
And as even an initiation. And if I think about Luka and Kyrie and what made them work, or LeBron and Kyrie even, you do that and then you swing the ball over, and Kyrie is quick enough to get into the paint and to do different things. Jamal Murray's not necessarily quick enough to do that, but you can run secondary actions. I think, and this is a tough pill to swallow, I think Denver has to spend the next 2 months weaning off their reliance of Jokic, not because they want to go away from him, but because they can't, so that they can go away from him if a team does what the Lakers did.
I think you're spot on. And to expand a little on it real quick, it's part of the reason I think why they look like they have no idea what they're doing at times when Jokic is off the floor.
Right.
When Jokic misses a game, in past seasons, it's looked like this team has never played basketball together for, and it's because of that over-reliance on Jokic. So I think you're right. It's a great opportunity, and I still think they have enough time left in the season to find some of those ways to be effective, even when it's not Jokic initiating everything, being the total head of the snake, having all that usage on him. And the last thing I'll say about the Lakers game, going back and rewatching some of it, man, it was so weird how the Nuggets just did not adjust at all.
Yeah. I mean, they did adjust. They did make adjustments. They just were not impactful. In large part because the adjustment that we're talking about is going away from Yoke. They tried to free Yoke up in unique ways.
Yeah.
But they didn't. The big adjustment would have been like, okay, can we use him as a decoy or something, or this or that?
It was just like almost like they didn't want to make the big adjustment.
Yeah.
That's the way I took it. Like they still kept trying to, all right, Jokic in the post. All right, Jokic over here.
Right.
It was almost like odd how they didn't look to totally switch things up when the Lakers were just so clearly trying to cut that
Pull
one
up
thing
conspiracy
off.
corner. Pull it up. Conspiracy corner.
I waded into this conspiracy briefly on the post
what was
game.
it?
That they didn't want. They were okay with losing and making the Lakers feel comfortable.
Oh my God.
I subscribe.
I'm not saying I subscribe. I'm not saying I do.
now.
Hold on.
They lost on purpose.
I watched. There's a documentary. It's not that great, but I watched it anyway. Called "We Beat the Dream Team." That's on one of the channels, and it's about their Dream Team scout team, which was like all the college players, like the secondary. One of the games early on, they beat the Dream Team the first game, and they it made this whole thing, and then later on, Coach K comes on and says that
Chuck Daly, but or Coach K explains this in the Jordan doc.
I mean, do you want to tell a story? I mean,
I'm trying to correct you so you get your facts right.
Coach K said of Chuck Daly that he intentionally made no adjustments because he wanted the team to lose. And it wasn't that players were trying to lose, but we are in a portion of the season where high-level chess could be being played. And I tend to agree with you, Harrison. I thought it was very bizarre that they weren't like, okay, Jokic, you're going to just be the point guard.
Why don't we run a pick and roll? I don't know.
There wasn't they played no two-man game. It was why would they do
I'm
that?
not saying I believe
All
that.
right, we have two believers here.
I'm not a believer. No,
You put this forward. You propagated this.
no. I do not
believer.
believe it.
I'm going to go on record and say
a
I
prophet.
do not think this is true.
I do not think.
Harrison clearly
I
believes
don't
it, but
think
is
that they
afraid to
threw
say
the
it.
game, but I thought-
you wholeheartedly, you're on message boards like connecting the dots.
You're on
think-
4chan.
Yeah, 4chan right now
I
with the
think
Zapruder film.
that they went to a pizza restaurant. No, that they. What happened was is that they were like getting beat, and they're like, all right, like we're just gonna run with this. Like let's see if we can figure it out, whatever. But I don't think that they were like wanting to make all of the adjustments for the victory. I thought that they were just kind of like, because it seemed, to your point, Harrison, odd.
All right, Dev,
That's all I'm saying.
real
It
quick.
was odd.
It was
On a scale of 1 to 100, where are you at in buying
have
this
we ever run a
conspiracy?
pick and roll? I don't know.
100
It's a big
being
part
it's
of our
all
game.
in like D-line.
Look, I'm not about to piss myself off. Let's go back to the original question that you had.
Dev won't even acknowledge it.
I'm not going to waste my time with that.
He's in. That's what I heard.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. But when it comes to like the hangover takes and things like, mine's is that I do think, like you were talking about with the reliance on Jokic, I do think that the Nuggets have been trying to wane into that, like trying to find different ways for other people to get started. Because before that game, this was the renaissance. You know, Russell Westbrook has been playing well. Michael Porter Jr. has some big games in there. Jamal Murray was putting up some monster. They are trying to find ways to get other people involved. Christian Brown is like, it's not like they're saying don't shoot it with those other ways. That was just a time that it was time to prove it. They did not prove it. So it was a one game, like a one-off. You just want them to be able to prove it against contenders or real teams. And they haven't shown that thus far. But I do think that this is something that they are working on, because the Nuggets, the only way that you're going to win anything, especially now with how the league is going, is if you are going to have the others step up. But I truly believe that they've been trying to get there.
Well, here's my final take, and then we'll move on from this. But I think that the Nuggets in their win streak had picked up their vibes. I think health obviously came together for them to a certain degree. Conditioning, those things came up. What has not come up is execution. Execution really is most notable on the defensive end. What happened in that game was the Lakers, A+ on execution. The Nuggets, C-, D- on execution. And I think this is like the point in the movie, the hero's journey, right? They've had the small success, but now they got hit with the big problem. The small problem, small success. Now the big problem comes. And I think this is like, all right, 2 months to go. Our execution is nowhere near where it needs to be. We have to get going. And I think that is what these next 2 weeks is about. And it starts with tonight. I want to see a Denver Nuggets team that executes defensively and offensively, because that would tell me that they have at least started to learn a lesson from last night's game. Moving it on to our next topic, though.
I don't know if you saw this
Chuck
picture,
Daly, there
though. Chuck Daly and Brendan Malone on the same coaching staff.
Oh, there you go. Oh, wow. Maybe he learned the lesson here.
I just came
Oh,
across
my
this.
God. All of the... what was the date? It was 2/11.
There's a connection
Now
there.
it is 9/2.
Some of you are stuck in the, you got to use your third basketball eye.
Lincoln's secretary is named Washington, while Washington's was named Lincoln.
Did you know that the temperature at which a basketball melts is much higher than you?
If you guys have not, I highly recommend that you check out the Netflix documentary on the Olympics called Road to Gold. It is incredibly well made. It's a really cool look behind the scenes at key teams as they go through the Olympics. And one of those key teams is, of course, Serbia. And I got to say, if Serbia has not checked this out, they have to check it out. I thought it was amazing because there's no narrative. It's like they cut the narrative out. It's just like...
What? You're allowed to do that?
They're like, what's the story of the team? And watch the team as they go through preparations and into the games, game by game. And I got to say, I already love Team Serbia. Fall in love with them all over again, man.
I know.
One of the things I love, every team has a way of breaking a huddle, bring all hands in.
Yeah.
Serbia's is, who's the best? Serbia.
Oh, my
which
God.
I just love.
So
That's
good.
such a cool
God,
way to
that's
break
good.
it
But
down.
it was about culture, though, right? Like they said that was their idea, that they had the best basketball players in the world.
They said, we really believe it.
We believe it.
Yeah.
That is insane of a thought, you
Yeah.
know.
Per
But it also,
capita?
but it goes for like what their true idea and identity was. Like, I really did love. I'm like an episode or two in, and I'm like, this is insane. I even think that there are narratives, but they're cool narratives.
They're like true, and they're not overstated. It's like, this is what the team's trying to accomplish.
And everybody truly believes we have the best team. It's not like tongue in cheek,
Yeah, yeah.
like, you know, like that they were showing with Dream Team and all that, where people are taking photos and they don't believe that they're anywhere near them. These teams now believe that they could beat USA, which is really
incredible.
the idea.
The
and
narrative,
the identity of him.
There's narrative, but the narrative is the competition and nothing else. There's nothing
Yeah,
outside of,
for sure.
This is our team, this is what we're trying to do, and this is how we try to do it.
So you brought this up to me the other night, and I was confused because the documentary is called Court of Gold.
Court of Gold.
Road to Gold is the thing that the Nuggets put out. So I was like very confused about what you were talking about. Court of Gold, which is the documentary, is incredible. Yes, it is so like you just felt like very I felt exactly the way that you did. I felt very like endeared by and like rooting for Team Serbia again. I really love their It's fun to see Jokic like really just go in on his teammates and like, you know, especially when it's translated so you actually know what he's saying. And then to see like the up and down that the French team went through and like and also the biggest like takeaway from me in that, what I was not expecting at all, is that I was like, do I like Kevin Durant?
I know.
I was like, was he right? Should I have not been cheering for
All
Serbia?
of these NBA players try to tell their own story and suck at it.
Yeah, they
and then
do.
when it's like, hey man, what we like about you is you're super competitive and love the sport.
Yes. Yeah.
And just show us that and be vulnerable. And he was like cries at one point. It's amazing. But you know, the point on Team Serbia, watching it, you're just like, man, this is so cool. It really reminds you why we like sports.
You want to know what my biggest takeaway is on this?
Yeah, I'd love to know.
Was them showing us who Jokic was, like as a leader. This is the first time we got to see it. You know, like not just hear it or there's these stories, because I think the outside perception is like he's just this quiet, reserved, I'm going to show myself on the floor type of leader.
Right.
He's not.
He's
only
coaching
that. He's
nonstop.
coaching. He's talking trash. He's challenging his teammates. Not in a demonstrative way, but it's just like, hey, this is what you have to do. And if you can't get that, get somebody here that can. Like, that's what I was seeing. I was like, okay, this is the first time we got to see Jokic like in this type of light. I love it. I truly do love it.
It made me sad that we didn't get Bogdanovich again, though.
Yeah, because he's so dope.
So
he
dope.
really is. So
I don't know.
dope in
Maybe
that.
Yoke didn't want him after he wasn't guarding Kevin Durant
Nah,
and
yeah, what
instead
is he
guarding
guarding?
Bam Adebayo.
That scene is so great because he's screaming at the top of his lungs.
yeah.
It's like so
And
amazing.
then Pesic comes in and just reiterates the
Yeah.
same thing.
But that was another takeaway. Like Pesic's, like the lines he gives to his players were like so incredible too. He's like,
Yeah.
Ghost, Durant
F
is-
the coach, F the play,
Yeah.
just go out there, like just get it done. Like all of these things you're like, God,
He
dang,
was
it's-
awesome, and it actually really made me like Coach Pesic a lot. And yes, Jokic coaching nonstop. Like, here's the thing we know about Pesic and about Serbian culture. It's very rare, was traditionally, for players to be able to step into that. Times change. You get a guy like Jokic, of course you're going to give him the whiteboard from time to time. But the amount of detail about him
Yeah.
going back and forth with Pesic about, no, this is what we need.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so cool. And to see that, and you see Jokic in just such a different light. So I highly recommend it. It was absolutely incredible.
And again, Court of Gold.
Yeah, go check out Court of Gold. Road to Gold has been good too. I give them their shout out. Our pregame picks are presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app and use the code DNVR365. Deposit $10. Place a bet of $5 to get $150 in bonus bets. Must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado. Please gamble responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER. Dev, your turn.
It's time to cook up, baby. It's time to cook up. The Nuggets come into this game as it's pushed down to 3.5 point favorites. Opened originally at 5, which there was no line change. So there's not like a substitution that will push you one way or another. There was not even a questionable player there. So this is people just believing that the Pacers are going to win and putting some money on that to like push the line. 3.5.
Well,
I like
there
the
was
Nuggets.
another inside job in sports gambling recently. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, man.
In college.
You like the Nuggets here.
The guy's from Colorado.
Oh, man, really?
Yeah.
The Dev light lit up.
I know. He was like our best
Why are you
player.
smiling?
It was our
Dev's like,
best
how do you
player.
think I've been doing so well?
No, I'm just shocked. I really am shocked about that name. But whatever.
I need a win tonight.
3.5. I like the Nuggets in this. I do think that they take care of business.
I don't know if I can
they
do it.
truly need to.
Is that on the sheet?
To take care of business in this type of game, and the reason that I really love it, we already talked about it. The Pacers are not physical.
Yeah.
That matters. That matters for this Nuggets
Talk me
team.
into it.
So I'm gonna go with the 3.5. The over/under is 246, and that is so many points. We have seen this team struggle time and time again with stopping teams, and the Pacers want to do one thing, and that's run. I'm going under. Under 246. That's too many for me. I don't like it. On the Pacers side of things, I'm going to go with over 19.5 points for Tyrese Halliburton. This is a game that he tries to score in. He's been much more aggressive offensively with not only trying to pass the ball. I feel like in years past, there was just like, how many assists can I get to? Can I get to 17 assists? And we're not seeing that same type of passer from him. He's scoring. He's not only setting the table, he also has the ball at all times. He has a very high usage. I'm going to go with over 19.5. I also like Miles Turner over points plus rebounds.
It's a lot of Pacers.
It just depends on how aggressive he's being early on trying to score.
Well, that's all the time we have today. Unfortunately, we didn't get to our Nuggets best, but we hope you win.
Whatever. On the Nuggets side of
Hey,
things,
we're back.
you mean to tell me that this isn't a finesse team and not an aggressive team? Easy call, and you know where to start.
Aaron Gordon.
Over Michael Porter
Oh.
Jr. 2.5 3-pointers.
Well, he
Man.
hasn't done this for 2.5 weeks.
He needs a bounce back spot, and this is also the lowest that we've ever seen his line at.
Come on, Michael Porter.
Michael Pruny Jr., dude. Pruny fingers.
He definitely needs to get a good game going.
I hope it's not sunny out there in India.
Also, we're going to stick with Michael Porter Jr.
over-photosynthesized.
because when he's down in his scoring or like in some type of slump, he tries to get himself going in another way. It's going to be the rebounds. It's at 5.5. I'm just going to go over that 5.5 rebounds.
Okay.
It's going to be a fast-paced game where he has to crash the boards. That's been his focus all year. It's going to be another game that he scores. I also like Jamal Murray over 5.5 assists. I mean, I think that this is an easy bet. He's going to have the ball in his hands. He's going to have a lot of one-on-one coverage with everyone else. You'll find cutters. You'll find him to either score or to dish it off. 5.5 is too low. I'm going to go over 8.5 rebounds and assists for Aaron Gordon. Legs are getting up under him. He is aggressive. He's a bully in these type of situations. He's going to be the bigger guy. I like Aaron Gordon. I would also do points, rebounds, and assists for him. I just think he does a little bit of everything, but I'm going to put it on this 8.5. For Christian Brown, let's go with over 19.5 points plus rebounds. It does have juice on it, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. This guy has been scoring. He's been grabbing boards. He had one bad game. This is a bounce back spot for him. This is a very fun bet. Don't use it against me, but I want to throw it in there. Jokic first basket.
Whoa.
They're going to get the big fella going early. I just know
Is he
that
gonna win the tip?
you have to put that into your head. You just have to. And our defensive bet is AG to get over just a half stock, like 0.5. So
better.
a rebound or steal.
That's all the line is?
That's all it is. We're just rooting for one
A
thing to
steal or
happen.
block.
And for our lock,
All right.
I'm going to go over 27.5 points for Jokic.
Turn him into a score
We just saw a game that he didn't score. The Pacers are, I'm sure, out of every team in the NBA, the one team that doesn't care to send the double team. It's going to be one-on-one with him the entire time. Miles Turner, mano-a-mano, we know who we're going with. Also, with these early games, they start on time. So we
All
get
right.
to watch a game here.
All right, give us our super chats.
Whoa.
Nuggets fan, what up? Dev, I just jumped in, need a winner back.
We got you. Think about it.
Take the lock then.
If he put $50 on just telling us that,
Yeah.
Oh, man.
He went
he's
hard.
ready. He's ready for a big bet.
Take
We're
the
going to
lock
make some
then.
money
Take that
tonight.
lock.
Take the lock.
Drew
This is a great point.
Last time we lost, we went on a 9-game win streak.
That is true.
well, but the first time we lost, we were on a 2-game.
Get
losing
out of here with
streak.
your negative energy today. Everybody,
Why did we do that?
everybody, thanks for watching. Hit that like button. We'll see you on the other side.
We all silly like the mayor.